Hello guys, I'm Abu Bakr and I'll be teaching you C++ programming, and after it hopefully we'll start Swift and then we'll do the web development with JavaScript, CSS and HTML5. Now on C++. I have uploaded a couple of videos on C++ which I don't think they don't satisfy me the way they should be, and I think I have completely failed in explaining you how to program in C++. So I'm going to create a playlist now of these videos so that you can join the session and swiftly you can follow. Now in order to start, we are going to use Visual Studio Code, not Visual Studio, it's for Windows. Because we are on Linux, we'll be using Visual Studio Code. I don't like their product. Okay, so now let's go on, and to download the Visual Studio Code you'll need to go to Ubuntu software if you're using Ubuntu, and if you're using any other distribution there'll be a software provider in here. So when it's open you are going to write Visual Studio, and you probably saw that it came for a moment. Visual Studio Code, and press enter, and it will appear right in front of you somewhere here. Why it's taking so long? Visual Studio. I'll leave it as it is so that it may load. So before this thing gets started, okay, here is it. You want to install the first one with the highest rating, and it's Visual Studio Code. You don't need to install the insider programs, okay? It's to make Microsoft more better, to send them error reports, and you don't want to be that. So we want to use the default operating this Visual Studio Code IDE. Without further ado, just open it. Go to Files, Explorer, Open Folder, then create a new folder, name it Visual Studio Code Workspace, enter, okay. So if you do that, you'll see a folder opens on the left hand. You want to create a new file which is going to be intro.cpp. .cpp is the extension for C++ program files, source code. Now onto what is C++ language. Now, this C++ programming language is a general purpose programming language, which means you can use it to make variety of wide softwares. You can make games, you can make MP3 players, any music players. You can now you can use C++ to create you can do app development on some level, but not because you need to have Swift. But C++ also serves the purpose a bit on some places. I haven't figured that out yet, but so most of the stuff you want to do software development, creating media players, creating other wide variety of softwares you can create with C++, and the tools you're going to need is the G++ compiler. Now if you download Visual Studio Code, you are going to have that in it by default, but if you want to code text editor, you need to install that from the terminal. Also, for those who want to do on dev C++, it also has G++ compiler in it by default. So without wasting any other second, type Hello World program. We probably all heard about it. Namespace std int main and return 0. What you need to do is to cram this bit of the program, and we are going to use it in literally every program that we are going to make in the future. So learn this one, I recommend. Now if you want to do an output on the console, you need to have console out, and then stream insertion operator, Then we want to write some text on the screen. Now text in programming languages are called string variables, string literals. So they're written in double quotes, and whatever you want to write, just write in like Linux is the best. Okay, and then we want to end L this thing. Now you want to run it. When it's run, it will give the text Linux is the best. Now what does endl do? If you want to understand that, if I type in another command, programmers group, okay, and then endl again. Now we just printed our text, okay, and if I remove endl and press this, wait, Linux is the best, no space, and then programmers rule. So I didn't put any space in the front and didn't put any space in the back of programmers either, so it kind of connected both text, and there is no endl in the between, so no next line. It will print on the same line. So if I want to have a space in between, I will have a space here and run the code, and you can see Linux is the best, programmers rule. So we'll have a space here. If you want to have, now, an alternative way was to reduce this, eliminate the space from here and put it at the back of the P of programmers. It will still print the same thing. Okay, now if one will run the code, here Linux is the best and programmers rule. Okay, so this was the function of endl. If you don't put it, the code isn't going to give you this next line, but if you put it in between, it will give you another next line. It's just like pressing an enter while you're typing to go on the next line. So we've learned what is C++, what are the tools that are required. We have also made our Hello World program. Now what is Hello World program? It was the first program that we tried to inspire programmers to that they have somehow made the computer say hello to them. And if I want to show you that one, it's Hello World. This was that Hello World program that is really famous among the programs. So here, Hello World. It's just like our computer has learned to say hello to the world. So we have taught our computer to learn hello and all the basic stuff that teachers teach their student. Now we want to learn about the comments. What are comments? Comments are some text that we enter in our code to make our code readable. Now if you imagine this code is, if you try to imagine, now this is very simple code, just try to imagine that this is a very big code and we can't understand what this code is all about. Now if I want the other programmers to understand, and if I also want to understand, because it happens a lot of time that I code something and when I return to the code I forget completely that what this piece of code does. So I want to comment that line, and I will write Hello World program, and this line will be completely ignored by the compiler as if it's not there, and our program will run. It's just for our readability that we want to read, so we comment it out. Now we'll learn something about operators and variables. Variables are, as the name suggests, they vary with their values. I don't know how to explain that. There are data types. Variables and data types are linked together, okay? So there are data types. There are int for integers. There is double for floating point value. There is, okay, char for characters. Characters in the sense of all those printable characters on your keyboard you can see right now are all characters if they're used in single. If they're used in double quotes like text, like in Hello World, it's a string variable, string literal, sorry. Character, integer, double, what am I missing? Yeah, bool. It has two values, true and false. These two values. So if anything is true, we're going to use bool and false. Integer, now I'm going to create an integer variable. I'm going to name it myInt. If I want to create a double variable, myDouble, and you can name them anything you want actually. And when it comes to comment, I need to put a statement terminator. With every statement in C++ ending, you need to have a statement terminator to tell our compiler that this particular statement, this particular instruction is finished here. My character, my bool. Okay, and have a statement terminator right here. So we just created, what's wrong with this one? I didn't put a statement terminator over here, so it's thinking that the bool my bool statement, this one, is actually the part of the upper statement, and then when it comes to the it's like part of the upper statement, the compiler isn't able to understand what kind of syntax it is. So if I put the statement terminator, it understands, okay, that was a different line, so my bool is a different thing. So we just created four variables named myInt, myDouble, myCar, myBool. Now we want to give them values. We are going to use assignment operator, and integer values are assigned like integers, like they don't have any decimal point in between. When it comes to double, they have decimal point in between. Okay, you can also write 0.0 whenever it comes to point. Whenever you explicitly put point in between, C++ compiler will consider it as a double variable. Okay, now when it comes to character, you're going to use single quotes and then type anything, 1 W, anything that is printable, guys, like Z, like semicolon, like score, underscore, like plus sign, anything that is printable. Even blank space is character for and it's printable, it's visible on the screen. So here I have turn on this feature that shows me that signifies this shows the blank space also with the dot and the tabs with 4 dots, and it's just for your readability so that you can understand that I'm using a blank space over here. You can enable this in your Visual Studio Code. I don't know, I can't remember how did I do it, but anyway, so anything that is printable is character if used once. My bool is true. Okay, so these are 4 variables. Now doing printing, we have done it. Okay, this line is for printing. This is a declaration of our what do you say, variables. Now what we want is actually learn about operators. If I create 2 operators, A is equal to 10, and if I create int B is equal to 2, and then another operator C is equal to maybe A plus B, okay, and then C out C and ENDL afterwards, and then run the code. You'll see that it will give you hello world from this statement, and then from this instruction it's going to give 12, that is 10 plus 12. You can also remove and do asterisk for multiplication, so it's set 20. Okay, so basic operations are the same. So this was on operators. Now there's a different kind of operator in this language. It's called plus operator and minus operators. These are actually increment and decrement operators. Okay, so if I want to have x variable and it's 45, and if I do x plus plus and C out x, cout x. Now x isn't a text, it's an integer value, it's not string. So when it's not string, I'm not going to write it in, oh yeah, whenever you want to work with a string, you need to include string file, string class. Okay, and here I'm going to declare a string my string assignment operator string rocks. Okay, and then have a statement terminator. Then we want to, wait a minute, endl. Okay, and if I have post increment, means display x first and then increment it. Okay, so if we have post increment operator, it will display the x first and then it will increment it. So let's see what happens if I run the code. Sorry, so 35, but now originally the value after doing an output is 46. To prove that, I'm going to cout x now in this line, and we'll see that it's 46. You see, 46. But if I remove this operator and put it in behind, it will increment first, then it will output. Now before it was 45, at this step it will be 46. Doing an output, it will be 46, and the second statement, it will be 46 again. So 20, 46, 46. That's how increment operator does. And similar with the minus operator, which is decrement operator, it decrements by 1, and if it's pre-decrement, it will decrement first and then do the operation. And if it's post-decrement, that is, if it's like this, it will output first and then it will first output and then it will decrement. Okay, so this was all for today's lecture. I'll just do it in Urdu now. तो हमारे पास हेलो वर्ल्ड का प्रोग्राम है जिसके अंदर हमें cout ऑपरेटर इस्तेमाल करना पड़ा। cout ऑपरेटर हर उस काम के लिए आप यूज़ करेंगे जब भी आपने आउटपुट करना है कुछ भी स्क्रीन पे। जब आपको टेक्स्ट को डिस्प्ले करना होगा तो फिर आप डबल कोट्स का इस्तेमाल करेंगे और उसके दरमियान सारे टेक्स्ट लिखेंगे। और टेक्स्ट को C++ या किसी भी ज़ुबान में आप स्ट्रिंग कहते हैं, राइट। तो जब भी आप वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर करेंगे तो आप पहले वेरिएबल की टाइप, जो कि इंटीजर के लिए इंट, डबल के लिए यानी डेसिमल वैल्यूज़ के लिए डबल, करैक्टर के लिए कार, बूल के लिए यानी ट्रू फॉल्स जो कि वैल्यूज़ होती हैं उनके लिए बूल, और स्ट्रिंग के लिए स्ट्रिंग। और स्ट्रिंग इस्तेमाल करने के लिए शर्त है कि आप ऊपर इंक्लूड कराएं अपनी स्ट्रिंग वाली फ़ाइल, राइट। और बाद में आप उन्हें वैल्यूज़ दे दें। मैं जब ये कमेंट्स आगे कर देता हूँ, राइट। नाउ हमारे पास इंटीजर में पड़ा है 56, डबल में 54.0, और कोई भी ऐसी वैल्यू जिसमें आप डेसिमल पॉइंट लगा देंगे वो आपके लिए डबल वैल्यू बन जाएगी, राइट। और तमाम ऐसे करैक्टर्स जो आपके कीबोर्ड के ऊपर है अलोन, यानी कि आप उन्हें दो में इस्तेमाल नहीं कर रहे। जैसे कि अभी मैंने ये इस्तेमाल किया अकेला, ए है तो अकेला, जब मैं ए के साथ एस डाल दूंगा तो ये कोई करैक्टर नहीं है। अब ये स्ट्रिंग बन चुका है और स्ट्रिंग को हम डबल कोट्स में डालते हैं और हम उसे डबल कोट्स में डाल रहे हैं, लेकिन डबल कोट्स में करैक्टर होता नहीं है, करैक्टर होता है सिंगल कोट में, तो हम उसे सिंगल कोट में लिखेंगे। और सिंगल कोट में जो करैक्टर है वो दो हो नहीं सकते, तो वो सिंगल कर देंगे, राइट। बूल वेरिएबल में या तो ट्रू होती है या वैल्यू या फॉल्स होती है, इसके दो ही आंसर होते हैं, राइट। तो हमने यहाँ पे ट्रू लिखा। और स्ट्रिंग के लिए माई स्ट्रिंग और स्ट्रिंग के लिए हमने अंदर एक टेक्स्ट डाल दिया, और टेक्स्ट को डालने की तरीका ये है कि आप डबल कोट्स को इस्तेमाल करेंगे। ऑपरेशंस के ऊपर आएंगे तो हमारे पास तीन हमने इंटीजर्स डिक्लेयर कर दिए, ए बी सी। ए में डाला 10, बी में डाला 2, सी में डाला a मल्टीप्लाइड बाय b, और c को आउटपुट करा दिया, तो वो हमारे पास 20 आउटपुट कर रहा है, राइट। तो बात आ जाएगी अब आगे इंक्रीमेंट और डिक्रीमेंट ऑपरेटर की। इंक्रीमेंट डिक्रीमेंट ऑपरेटर्स जो हैं वो प्लस प्लस के होते हैं और माइनस माइनस के होते हैं, राइट। और ये दो तरह के होते हैं, एक वेरिएबल के आगे होता है, एक वेरिएबल के पीछे होता है। जो आगे होता है उसको पोस्ट इंक्रीमेंट या डिक्रीमेंट, और जो पीछे होता है उसको प्री इंक्रीमेंट या डिक्रीमेंट कहते हैं। अब मैं इस स्टेटमेंट में पहले x को आउटपुट करा रहा हूँ, और क्योंकि पोस्ट डिक्रीमेंट है तो ये पहले आउटपुट होगा, 45 पहले आउटपुट हुआ, फिर वो रिड्यूस हो गया 44 में, और अगली स्टेटमेंट में जब वो 44 था तो वो आउटपुट हो गया। इतना सा काम था। तो अगर आप इसे पोस्ट इंक्रीमेंट करेंगे और सेव करेंगे, रन करेंगे, तो आपके पास रिज़ल्ट आएगा 45 46। पहले 45 था, फिर वो 46 हो गया, फिर उसे 46 में हमें आउटपुट कर दिया, और बाद में हमारा प्रोग्राम ख़त्म हो जाता है। आज के लिए इतना ही, शुक्रिया दोस्तों।